Hi everyone, welcome to this home practice. First of all, I want to thank all my students for reaching out to me to encourage me to post a video. I've been reluctant because it's not something that I thought was going to be in the long term, but then I just decided that no matter what, this is a good time for all of us to begin a home practice if it's something new for you, because it's something that can carry you through the rest of your practice, the rest of your journey. You can take it with you in your house, in a hotel room, when you're out of town, and you can't find a yoga class nearby. I'm a firm believer in community yoga and yoga studios, which again is why it makes me sad to have to be doing this on this platform. It's not really my kind of space, and to be totally honest, I think the fear of doing this also kept me. So I have a lot of excuses that I was using, but I decided that I have to practice what I preach, and that now is a good time to really take everything that you've learned from yoga, if you've been practicing for years or you're brand new. This whole situation taps into everything that we need. Finding breath, finding balance, finding a home practice, finding space for yourself, designing a lifestyle that is healthy to your mind and body and spirit, and just understanding that the simplicity maybe is what we can all come back to. So with that said, find your space, find your time where you can be uninterrupted. Take your cell phone, put it aside, put it in another room, take the watch off if it speaks to you, hide from your kids, tell someone else in the house that you're going to be doing this for the next hour, 45 minutes, and really dig into it. If you're going to do this, then commit, because a self-practice, home practice, does take some discipline. I'm not going to lie. And I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I have good days and bad days. So whether it's a meditation practice or it's an asana practice, it all takes discipline. Find your space. Find a meditation pillow, if that's going to be your jam. Find a towel, okay? I like a towel. I like something to pad my knee. I had a knee replacement a year ago, and I'm working on that, so that's part of my therapy of yoga. Find something to cover your eyes with when you're done. I'm burning incense, which I absolutely love. Puts me totally in the zone. When I started practicing a long time ago, in the old creaky wooden floors, there was always incense burning, and it would just kind of, whatever senses turn you on to becoming kind of inside instead of paying attention to all the craziness, I suggest that you use those tools. Your yoga mat, obviously, some kind of mat, some kind of space. Make sure your legs can move up and down. And that's it. So, my daughter today is going to demonstrate as I try and teach. You didn't say blocks. Blocks. I didn't say blocks. Blocks. More than anything else, buy yourself some blocks, even before the yoga mat. I'm a huge fan of blocks. Okay, I'm no spring chicken, so I need my blocks in almost all my yoga postures, my standing postures, my balancing postures. You want your practice to serve you and set yourself up for success. So like I say, if you're trying to do this with the dog running around and major chaos, it's not going to work that well. So do what you can to set yourself up for a successful home practice. So start on your back. My lovely Harper is doing. Close your eyes, stretch out nice and long, and get comfortable. Take all those meaningful mantras, so to speak, and bring them kind of inside your body. You breathe in and you breathe out. And you start to train yourself when you get on your mat that the breath is going to be part of this next time frame. More so than anything else you're doing, you want to pay attention to your breath when you're practicing your yoga. And start to flex and point your toes. So you're going to start to wake your body up to understanding that it's going to now be moving, because the asana portion of yoga, asana, is to move. I get the Sanskrit as seat, but most of us call asana as the movement part of the yoga practice. Just breathe in and out, and breathe in and out, and point and flex, and then take your arms over your head. Breathe in, and breathe out, bring them down by your hips. And stretch them out all over your head. It's a good time to understand, is your runway, have you created enough space? You know, we're all a little jammed up in tight quarters, so do your best to make sure that you have the area to get going and moving on this. Big stretch, and then hands down by your hips. Nice. And then take your right leg up, and we're just going to do these marching legs, right leg and left leg. Right leg and left leg. Your head can stay down on the mat. It's perfectly fine with me. You're going to get the core to kind of tune into the program. Keep your legs nice and straight and keep pushing out through your heel. I call it like a sharp heel. Right? I'm telling my hamstring again, it's going to be getting a workout pretty soon. So what I usually teach is a little bit stronger of a flow class than other classes. Yoga encompasses like many different styles, 6,000 years. There's just so much that yoga entails. It's hard to find even one word. Keep going. Keep going. So if you're not my student, you'll kind of be confused of what kind of practice I'm teaching. I started off in Bikram. I took Anaphorus 250 hours and then a Baptiste affiliate for 500 hours. So I kind of am a little bit of a mutt in the way that I teach. I like a physical practice, but I also like a spiritual practice as well. Taking your arms over your head and turn these into bicycles. So you start to bend the knees and stretch your arms. You can take elbow to knee. You want to be exhaling and pushing through the mud. So you're kind of, aggressively doing this movement as you start to twist the obliques. Shh. Shh. I'm going to breathe for her because she's not quite accomplished in the breath work. I'm not going to pick on her because she's the only one of my children that stepped up to the plate and would do this for me. So 10 more. Shh. 8. 8 again. I'm famous for miscounting, so I just had to throw that in there so you guys can all have a good laugh. 5, 4, 3, 2. I can't see myself anymore, heart. And 1. Nice. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Big breath in, and big breath out. Nice. Bring your knees into bridge, so the knees point up. Your feet are in number 11. You start to lift your bum bones off. And then shimmy your shoulders underneath, so you're hiding your shoulders a little bit. And then some of us can try and measure maybe your middle finger with your heel. Nice. And then you just expand your chest. You broaden your chest. But make sure your head is not tilted, tucked in, or too much up. You want the whole back of the head just to be flush on the mat. Nice. And then take your arms overhead, breathe in. And then exhale, bring your hands down by your hips and your bum to the mat. And then inhale, you bring your arms overhead. We do 10 of those, right? Full breath to the full movement. So you want that whole range of movement, starting to heat up the upper and lower and mid-back. Big stretch. Take 4 more. This time lift your toes off the mat, so ground down in your heels. Bridge with your toes up. Nice. And now press into your toes and lift the heels up. Stretch your arches here. You stretch your Achilles. Really feel that. Take 2 more. And then come down and rest. Keep your feet into bridge. We'll start to get going a little bit here. Bridge you go, up. Lift your right leg up. You can scooch the left leg to the midline just to get a little more balance. Keep this knee safely tracking over the ankle and then push straight up through this heel. And then start to pulse. Palms are up so you're not cheating. And pulse for 10. Pulse for 10. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1. Cross it over, figure 4. Nice. And then bring your bum down. And then glide your knees over to the right for a spinal twist. You can use your right ankle to kind of feel this nice hip flexor stretch as she pulls down and tries to get this whole kind of, yes, sensitive. You can look over to the left. You can take your arm out to the left, perhaps. And then come back to bridge. Recenter your feet and your hands at your ankles. Shimmy shoulders under, broaden your chest. Take your right foot over to the midline and lift the left leg up. Nice. And then take your 10 pulses, palms are up, and pulse. And get your gluteus maximus, your medius, press. Press with the sharp heel. 5, breathe. Open up your teeth. You know, when you clench your teeth, when things start to get a little harder, notice where you clench. Some of us clench the hands. Maybe we clench the toes. 3, 2, and 1. Cross it over. And then bring your bum down, and the knees go to the left. Nice. And a spinal twist. Bring both legs up to the sky. And then right here you want this nice line. So your bum bones are pressing down on the mat. You're trying to straighten your knees. She's got bad knees like her mom. So she's going to just try and ease and straighten and get that full flexation. Like you're holding teacups here on your feet. Nice. And then sit on top of your knuckles. Do a couple more abdominals. Famous for my core work. Might as well be famous for something. I'm actually famous for a lot of other things, but I won't embarrass my daughter. Feet to the floor. And then up. And then down. And then up. And then down. Got it. So 10 more of these. If you like to kind of bury your elbows underneath, you can lift your head off the mat and start looking at your feet. It's a little bit more challenging. 8. If anything doesn't feel right in your yoga practice, you need to just either modify or just don't do it. Right? Your yoga practice has to make sense to your body. So if you're trying to just grind into a shape that you think is the way it should be, it's not going to serve you in the long run. So make sure in all of the postures, you know, if you maybe need to YouTube or call a friend, you know, find out a modification. Because there is one. There always is something that you can be doing. And the point of yoga is not, of course, to injure you. It's about prevention. Last 2. And last 1. Bring your knees in and you hug them. Right? You try and get your knees right into your shoulders. But you relax your shoulders on the mat. So you relax your whole upper body on the mat. This is called decompressing your organs a little bit. So you're pressing your thigh bones into your liver, kidney, spleen, and all of that, right? To your degree. At the same time, you're pressing your sits bones to the mat. Nice. You okay? Mm-hmm. Good. And then just hug the right knee in and shoot the left leg out. Right, you give that a nice big squeeze. Take it to the outer edge of your right shoulder a little bit. Yep, like that. Yes, you can always press and use the walls. Use anything that you can. Straighten the left leg. Straighten the left leg. And then switch. Left knee comes in. Take it over to your left shoulder. Push out through this right leg. You want that nice, yes. Flexing your feet all the time. And then into happy baby here. You just grab both feet the best you can. If you can't reach your feet, you can reach your shins, right? Anything goes. The tendency is for people to lift their butt bone up like you're getting a diaper change. Press it down. Press that down. You're really getting the inner thighs going. Rock and roll if it feels okay on your sacrum a little bit. A happy baby is a good baby. Nice. And then one more set of, I call these pigeon abs. So right leg's going to go straight to the mat. And you're going to copy, if you know pigeon, we usually do it on our torso, but now we're going to grab the inner ankle with both hands. You're going to clasp it here. This keeps going off, so sorry. And then you push this foot to the ceiling, right? And then relax your shoulders on the mat. Get your shoulders on the mat. Yes, so you want this outer hip opening. Straighten the right leg. Pigeon supine. Head and neck is relaxed. Yes. Okay. Switch legs. All right. Again, if you can't reach the foot, reach your knee, reach your shin. It's opening that hip. All right. Now 25. We're going to call these pigeon taps, abdominals. Shh. Go. Shh. Shh. Lift your shoulders and head and neck up. Shh. I want the knee to be bending out to the side. The knee's bending out to the side. Shh. It's a twist. Let's go. Shh. Shh.
You hear my head cracking?
I know. No pain, no gain, no glory. You know, all those. 10. Shh. Push. Push. Bend. Push. 8.
My head is cracking.
You gotta move. You're greasing the wheel, girl. 2. And 1. Last squeeze. Hug it in. Both knees in. Squeeze and hug. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And then start to make your way to your downward facing dog. Everyone's favorite pose. That's a lie. It's not everyone's favorite pose. Right? A lot of people that struggle with their wrists. This is a tough pose. If that's the case, you can put both wrists. Just demonstrate for me, Harp. Thank you. Feels really nice. It's extra cushion, and again, it brings the floor closer to you, which is always nice. If your hips and your hammies are a little tight, I'm gonna have to walk like this. Downward dog, inverted V. Wrap the shoulders in, lift the hips high. You can bend the knees a lot if you have any pain in the lower back. Again, pain, no. Discomfort, no. We're looking for sensation. We're not looking for pain. As you get more loose in the hamstrings, one day maybe your heels meet the floor. Maybe they don't. Check out your palms. You want them to be thumb to pinky. And you're equally distributing the weight. Then you have to breathe in and out. You shake your head around. Again, this is like home base for a lot of people. Really love this posture. It is an inversion, so having a crappy day, need a break, downward dog is always there for you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remove the blocks if you want. And lift your right leg high. And that's one-legged downward facing dog. Straighten the leg. And then bend the knee and you kind of try and tilt these hips open. Yes. Call this fire hydrant dog, as if you were a male dog peeing on the fire hydrant. See how our shoulders kind of lifting up though? I want to try and square the shoulders. We just want that hip action to get into it. Nice. Hold for 3. Breathe. Relax your head. Relax the head. 2 and 1. Bring that leg down and lift the other one up. Right leg is up. Left leg is up. Straighten your leg first. Square the shoulders. And then bend the knee and open it up to the left. Big stretch. It's like this is a big yawn. Right? From the whole armpit down the side body. Should feel really good. Breathe in. And step it forward to the front of your mat. And come into a forward fold. The other leg follows. Nice. And a good time here to see if you need your blocks or not when you're reaching in a forward fold. You want to be pressing against something so you're lifting the sit bones up. The head is heavy. You're pulling up through the sides of the thighs and you're tilting. You're kind of tilting. doing this tilting of the hip action. Nice. And you keep pressing back with your thigh bones and tilting forward. And then lift your heels up. Just again, let's stretch these feet and toes and Achilles. So both heels lift up, like you're pressing on all toes. Yeah, you can bend your knees where it feels best. Right? Use your blocks. Watch that funky thumb. You don't want to do a lot of this in your yoga, right? You want nice flat hands in your yoga. Try not to do, you see people doing some funky things. It's just going to cause you problems up your shoulder girdle in the long run. And then flatten your heels to the floor. Head is heavy. Step back to plank. Bring your knees to the mat, cross your ankles, and come into 10 push-ups, 10 yogi push-ups. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. Unwind and nice and slowly. That was a nice transition. You want your transitions, again, to be part of the whole asana practice. You don't want a lot of herky-jerky movements. We want to, again, stay safe as we transition. Into high plank. I'm just going to show you a variation, which is forearm plank, which is a nice variation. You can get the same benefits. Both of these, you know, again, if you have collarbone issues or anything where the forearm isn't feeling good, then you stay on your hands. If you have wrist injuries, forearm is a nice variation. So both are great options. See how quickly she got out of that. Back to downward dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Let your tongue fall out here. No one's watching, so you can breathe in. And then let your tongue fall out and open up your jaw nice and wide. You know, in yoga, I try and work the whole thing. The earlobes, the eyes, the skin, the face, the lips, right? You get all this stretching going on to just widen your whole perspective. Right foot forward, left foot follows. Top of the mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha, right? Means half. So Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, hands on your shins. You want this nice straight back from the crown of the head to the bum bones. And then exhale, hands to the floor, forward fold. Breathe in, half lift. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, half lift. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, half lift, and hold. And then lift your toes up. You rest on your heels. You get all 10 toes up, nice, and then kind of broaden your shoulders. And then forward fold. Nice. Inhale, rise up to center with your arms overhead. And then hands to prayer. Close your eyes. It's always nice to find an intention in your class. You just kind of be still and quiet for a moment. Hands come to prayer, thumb knuckles to your heart center. And then open your eyes. And you give it up to the universe. So whatever you may have offered or thought of, maybe it was nothing at all, maybe it was a hopeful wish. Forward fold. You take a swan dive. Nice big movements. Again, take up a lot of space on your mat. Breathe in, half lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into plank. Knees to the mat. Let's take 10 more push-ups. Cross your ankles. You decide. Forearms can come down or your hands. 10 push-ups. How much time is left?
We've been going for 23 minutes.
Okay. 5, elbows in. 4, breathe. 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. Anytime you need a rest, right here, child's pose. Knees come to the mat and take a child's pose. Maybe resting in downward dog is better. It's better for me. Again, I had knee replacement and I have a torn left knee, so I'm really kind of cranky with my knees in my practice. And so I would always have a pad underneath what's going on. Love child's pose, the beauty of it, the simplicity. It can be active or restorative. Hands can come by your side. It's called more of an embryo pose, a little more relaxing, especially if you have anything that's going on in your shoulders. Downward facing. So we'll do, usually I do 7 sun salutations. Given our time constraints, we'll just go with 5 today. Because I want to heat the body up before we start holding postures, so to speak. You know, again, I'm a little older and I'm not heating this room, so when your body's cold, your muscles are cold, it's a little harder to feel loose enough to hold postures. So my own personal practice and what I usually teach is a heated room and a little bit more movement before I start holding postures, because my body just doesn't work in a cold environment in that way. So you do you, but for now we're going to heat up a little bit with 7 sun A's. Right foot forward, left foot follows. Inhale, rise up. Right, and this is meant to kind of move and get a little bit of your heart rate up. Hands come to prayer. If it's too fast for you, that's the beauty of a home practice. Do what you want. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, chaturanga, which just means stepping back through plank. And then you're going knees down first. And that's coming to a cobra. We'll just show people cobra a little bit. So bend the knees. That's not cobra, but that's what she's going to do, which is okay by me. And then roll back downward facing dog. Come into high plank. And bring your knees down, and we'll show cobra. Now bend your elbows here, right? And just come down with your chest. You're coming down pretty far. That's it. Hands are right underneath but your armpits. Press down, and then pin your elbows to touch almost. And then you drag them towards your hips. And then the crown of the head is up to your degree of comfort level. And you try and relax the shoulders down. So you're really trying to just heat up your back, which is kind of what we're doing in the whole Sunday thing. And then you can come up maybe to high plank, press down in your hands, high plank, and then downward facing dog. Right foot forward, left foot follows, top of the mat. That can be any way you want to get there. Inhale, rise up, and then hands to prayer. That's 1. Inhale, rise up. Take a bow, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Step back to plank. Through your variation, knees, chin, chest is something I practice. Or up dog here. Stay here. Show everybody your nice up dog. Down dog. So when one of my students asked me to do this, I said, I really can't, because I know I'll say something that's politically incorrect or just dirty. Those are 2 things that I have a little problem with. And I don't really want to go on record. In a live class, no one has to know about that. As we say, what happens on the mat stays on the mat. But now that it's in YouTube, I have to really... What's next? Bend your knees. Jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, rise up. And hands to prayer. You're going to move a little fast now. The last 3. Inhale, rise up. And I'm not going to say anything stupid. Exhale, forward fold. All yoga. Halfway lift. Breathe in, chaturanga, hands to the mat, step back through your up dog or mukha, exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing, left foot forward, right foot follows, breathe in as you rise up, and hands to prayer. Inhale, root to rise, forward fold, halfway lift, chaturanga. Downward facing. Bend your knees, hop to the front of your mat. Look at her go. Youth right there, baby. Rise up. And hands to prayer. Last one. Make it big. Move, groove, breathe. Chaturanga, plant. Jump back softly. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing. Walk your hands back to your feet and take a rest. A forward fold at the back of your mat. Peace fingers around those big toes. If you can, bend the knees a lot to do that. It's okay. See what music we have going on. I really like music in my classes, but some people don't. It's up to you. You can mute it. Have fun with your practice, right? It's got to be meaningful to you. Your practice is this sustainable thing, right? It has to last you for life. So make it work for you. You want to have it forever. Get you through the good times and the bad times. Gorilla pose, taking your hands and you walk your big toes right up to your wrists. Nice. And then step to the middle of your mat so people can see you. Harper and Utkatasana. Chair pose, feet together. You squeeze your knees and you sit your butt bone down, thunderbolt or chair pose. When you try and reach your arms up, spin your pinkies to touch, look up, and try and relax into this, even though it's not a very relaxing pose. Chair pose, really nice. Breathe in, breathe out. It's building the heat. Again, we're heating up here. The heated portion of the class.
I'm sweating.
Warm up, heat up, cool down. Nice. Let's take a twist. All right, twist to the camera. Perfect. Let's twist. I'm going to give her an assist because I want this to tilt like she could hold a teacup here. All right, getting into twisting. It's all about twisting from the sacrum up. For 3, for 2, and 1. Forward fold. That's your leg rest. All right, inhale, exhale. Twist to the other side, to the left. You take your right elbow. You get as far up as you can in the twist. Some of you may know side crow. In order to get nail side crow, you really have to get up to that shoulder so you can plant your hands on the floor and take an arm balance if it's there for you. Getting all the benefit even without doing side crow though. Again, you pull the right hip back, the left hip down for 3, for 2, and 1. Nice. Hands to the floor, walk into downward facing dog. Take a rest if you need it. Or downward dog. Child's pose, downward dog, either or. Right leg goes up. See, this is the part where you're moving a little faster. So again, because I don't really know, I can't look at my classroom, which is frustrating. As a teacher, you get the feedback from your classroom. I do anyway, and that's what inspires me to, either take it up a notch, level it down, do what I need to do, because I want everyone to leave happy. And here we don't have the space. You could flip out if you wanted, so you turn that hip open. She's going to try to do it. She's going to end up in the sunroom. I'll show you on the other side. Left leg down, right leg lifts, opposite. All right. All right, now you can flip out here. So now she slowly controls that and flips out. Right, so she lands both feet. You can have the knees pointed to the sky, or you could do a kind of a wild thing, which means that leg is straight. Right, these shoulders are nice and stacked. She's shaking a little bit, which means she's working hard. Breathe in. I'm going to tell her to relax her head, roll her chest to the sky. Nice. And then take your left arm down, and you slowly come back, lift it up, 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 high, and then bring it down. Breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in. This is for the you-know-who's. Look forward. Hop, skip, jump, crawl, top of the mat. Utkatasana. Breathing in. Chaturanga Dandasana. Forward fold. Step back. Do your vinyasa or not. From here on in, you don't have to take a vinyasa. You can always go down back to downward dog, where we end up most of the time. Shake your head around. All right, take a break if you need, meaning if you need a sip of water or something. We're going to move into our standing series. So usually I like to kind of crush it on the standing series. You're going to work the right leg through the whole thing. If, again, you don't want to do a vinyasa in between, you just go straight to downward dog. Otherwise, I'm going to work this right side. You ready? Right leg lifts. Breathe in. Breathe out. Spin the hip open. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, spin it open high. And then exhale, warrior one. So you take that whole momentum of that exhale breath, step it forward. You spin the left heel back, and you come into your warrior one. The hips are facing the front of the room. It's a hard posture to kind of manage. Usually if you twist your shoulders, then the hips will follow. Nice. And we'll bring it into warrior two. You always want to move your feet a little bit, warrior two. You want the heel and the back arch to be in the same line. Now everyone's looking at my butt. Now you're looking at her butt. Nice. Warrior two. Relax your shoulders. Arms are strong. You can look straight ahead, or you can look over your middle finger. And then you just tip this back into reverse warrior. Try not to keep that right knee still tracking over the big toe. Try not to grip the toes. I can see she's got white knuckles, so she's gripping a little too much in the toes. I'm back. Extended warrior. Right elbow onto right thigh, and the left arm goes overhead. Right, stretching all the way from the armpit, the pinky, all the way down to the heel of that back foot. Nice. And then let's reverse it and straighten both legs, called reverse triangle. So really reach back. It's such a pretty pose. Now reach and stretch and reach. A little bit more. And then a really good place for the block is we move into Trikonasana. Students' favorite. A couple different ways to do Trikonasana. Some people like to reach the toes for the floor. I like to keep this chest proud, meaning I want to keep this whole chest open to the side wall. If you start to just collapse into it by trying to reach your toe, your chest ends up reaching the floor. Really, we want to have this action. You're going to keep pulling back on the right hip flexor. That's why a block is really nice. Trikonasana. Relax the head. Legs are really working in Trikonasana. And then you try to make this transition into a standing posture. It's called half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. You do what you can. Maybe many steps, or maybe just one step as you reach for your block and lift the back leg up. Half moon. You're going to adjust her a little bit. You try, again, you're facing the left side. I like the block about a foot in front of my pinky toe on the right side. That way I can just get a little better balance. Try and bring some weight into the heel of your foot. And then Parsavita means to revolve, left hand down and right arm up. This pose kind of sucks, I'm not going to lie. Take the block over so you can, yes. Then you come out of postures. Standing postures are meant to be challenging, difficult. You just find it again. Breathing in. Breathing out, twisting, while you're balancing. Nice. I'm holding it. And then step back with that foot, and you can land it on the back of your mat. We're going to stay in this twisting triangle. So bring the block next to you. I like to take my right hand, put it on my butt, so I'm kind of assisting myself to square the hips. Getting into these really healthy for these kind of knee-sensitive knees. You never want to crank anything too much. Right? You take it just to the point of when you feel a little bit of the discomfort, or you feel a little bit of action, then you know, never push, never move on from there. Right? And then pyramid pose, both hands are framing the front foot. You can use both blocks or one block. No, go, get out. It's too bad you're hungry. I'm working. No, you can't make a sandwich. See what I'm saying? I locked the door and he still got through. No, I don't know.
Make me a sandwich when you're done with this.
Yes. Pyramid pose. And then we're just going to demonstrate some mountain climbers. Okay, these are going to be options for people that want to get a little cardio right here in pyramid pose. I like to use the blocks. And all you're going to do is switch these legs back and forth. So put these blocks down. Yep, you know how to do these. Nope, I'll put them. You frame your front foot.
Yes, blocks or no blocks?
I use yes blocks. Yes. and then you step back and forth. Now these are kind of controversial. A lot of people don't like these because you have to be really careful. You land the knee right over the ankle. So you're really taking the lightness of switching your feet back and forth. Yes. And when you see yogis that can jump through from the back of their mat, this is really the action that they're doing. So again, it gets your heart rate up. 8, 7, 6, 5. She's going to complain all day about these 2. And 1, right foot forward and rest. Pyramid pose, straighten both legs. Begin to lift the left leg up. We'll come into curtsy. In curtsy, you want to slide this left foot over. And you watch this right knee, which wants to bail out to the right. And keep pushing the right knee safely over the right big toe. And this can look a lot of different ways for people. And you can play with hands off the mat. You want to get this back foot on the same plane as the front. That's it. And hold there for just, I don't know, half an hour. Dream on. No singing. Just for making fun of my singing. Take this hand and grab that foot and lift it off the floor. Use your block. Yes. All right. Then you bring it into dancing Shiva. Hands come to prayer. Bend the right knee, bend the left knee, exactly the same. Hold the teacup on the flexed back foot. Press your palms together. Pray. This pose doesn't last forever. For 3, push your ankle up to the ceiling more. 2, and 1. Nice hands to the floor, sciatic forward fold. Snuggle those pinky toes to touch. Square your hips. And rest. Rest is kind of, I wouldn't say sciatic forward fold is a resting posture, but after you've been trying to balance, it is. Try to keep straightening and lifting up to your hips. Nice. Step back to plank. And forearm plank. And then open up to the right side of the room. We'll try forearm Vashisthasana, side arm plank. All right, so take a little while to get into it. Relax your hands. I'm trying to kind of, again, a plank is we use the plank because we're trying to kind of sandwich in between, 2 boards. You want that shoulder and that elbow to be safely, stacked. That's why we're struggling. And pull your stomach in like you're wearing a girdle or Spanx. Something that it's been 2 months that we probably haven't been putting on pants, so who knows what's happening. And then switch to the other side. Another reason to put this all in one mind. Take your home practice on the road. Nice. 3 for 2. And 1. Come into high plank. Both hands on the mat. Press up to high plank and then downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Chaturanga, take a vinyasa if you want. Sure. Yeah. And downward facing dog. Left leg up. Bend, stack, and open. Wild thing here, maybe. You feel like doing that? Plant that foot behind you. Yeah, flipping out. Yeah. Because you have room on this side. 5, 4. You press down into the feet. Lift the hips up 2. And 1. Bring it out. Back to downward facing. Keep that left leg high. And then step forward to warrior 1. Plant and you spin and you arrive. It's just a little too wide. You can bring that back foot in a little bit. Yes. And then you dial that 45 degrees. Yes, perfect. You spin the hips to the front. And then open up to warrior 2. heart rate, you're kind of jazzed up, then you need to breathe more. Your giant breathing is inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Lips are sealed. You're trying to get in that throat breath, so to speak. Ocean in and out. Flip your palm reverse. And extended left elbow on left thigh, right arm overhead. So now you can see yourself, you can see your alignment. It's kind of nice. You practice in the old days, well, it used to be a lot of mirrors in classes, which kind of a drag, but it's good in the beginning. If you're a newer yogi and you have a mirror, you can check out your alignment a little easier. In the beginning, it's hard to see. As you get more experience, you can start to feel when your alignment is off. And then reverse it. Reversed Trikonasana, both legs are straight. Yep. Reach back, right? Stretch and reach. Again, find the shape that suits you. Into Trikonasana, using your block on the outside of your foot. You can use the outside or the inside. You're trying to spin these hips to the right side. Spin the chest open. Breathing in, breathing out. Ardha Chandrasana, back leg lifts, coming into your balanced pose. Block this with the other foot in front of you. Lift that right leg up. And you spin the hips to the right side. You root down into the heel of the standing foot. Straighten your legs. And you try and find, relaxation. As Iyengar said, you must, in order to not have fatigue in your practice, you have to find relaxation in your standing postures, which means you just have to breathe more, so it's effortless. Like a flamingo standing on one leg and sleeping. You just are breathing and moving. Revolving this, so that means the top hand comes down, and the other hand goes up. Right hand down, left arm up, revolving. Right. Keep rooting down in the heel for 3. Keep lifting up for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Step back into revolve triangle. So you get those heel and that arch on the same plane. Move over here a bit. Nice. And then the right hand is down next to the pinky toe on the left foot. Revolve triangle. And this is what we want to be pulling back on the right hip flexor. Breathing in. Breathing out. Just tight knees, tight hammies. And then both hands frame the front foot for pyramid pose. Everybody loves pyramid pose. Great hamstring stretch. Right? You can always bend the front knee. Always bend the knees. Right? If you feel anything funky going on in your lower back or your hamstrings, bend your knees. 10 mountain climbers. Here we go. 10. Exhale. 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 I don't hear it. Exhale, 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 exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Upward forward pyramid pose. Coming to curtsy. Lift that back leg up. Yep. Move yourself on your mat. Nice. Bend the right knee. Bend the left knee. Sorry, you're bending the top knee. I'm bearing you. The right leg is straight. Okay, and then if you want to, try and grab that vine. It's a little fun. Or not. We take it back into the dancing Shiva. Right? So get yourself situated. Find the balance before you add on. Okay? So this right knee needs to go way up, way up, way up. This knee's up where? Yep. So it's almost like each knee is mirroring each other. Press your palms really firmly to each other. 3, and then it's a donkey kick on the back leg. Kick it up for 2. And 1, nice. Bring it down for sciatic. Pinkies touch. And head is heavy. Breathing in and breathing out. And then we're going to come into Ustrasana camel pose. So unwind your feet. Bring your knees to the mat. So I would definitely pad my knees here. So the options are, if I were her, I would bring my toes up. Her back isn't that flexible, right? And we want to really pull the hips forward. Let your head go. Nice. And you keep pushing your hips forward. You roll over nice. And then the counter pose, or you're going to take downward dog, or you can find hero pose. If you know hero pose, stand up, and then you bring your bum right in between your ankles. Yeah, she's bad knees too. And then you just try and lean back, take your elbows back to the floor. A lot of yogis love this stretch. Not for everyone. She come into downward dog. That's a good demonstration, and I'm going to encourage her to go to downward dog. Take as much recovery as you need. Second Ustrasana, knees to the floor. Stand on your knees, they call it. And so I usually start, I'm not warmed up, so I'm not going to do it, but you can take your hands to prayer. You press it right into your heart center. And you can stay right there as you start to push your hips forward, and then you're kind of leaning over the beach ball. And then if you want, you can reach for your ankles. If that feels okay. Is that not camel? That's it. You got it. Heels can be up or down. Nice. Push your hips forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Everybody gets caught up. You start to forget to breathe when you're doing these back bends. 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Up. Press your hands down. Stretch out. I'm not going to do Dhanurasana, wheel pose, because wheel pose is just in a league of its own. I don't want Harper to do it, and I'm not going to demonstrate it. If you know wheel pose, feel free. Have at it. Third, camel. Knees down. You go a little bit bigger this time. You reach your arms back. You stay right here. Maybe thumb knuckles to forehead center. Realize as the back warms up, it just becomes a little more forgiving and freeing. Beautiful. Really nice, Harp. All right. Coming out and then making your way onto your back. Okay, just take a moment when you get there. Close your eyes. You feel all that goodness, like all the medicine, the blood flow that you've allowed to come into your body here in the last several minutes. And then lift your legs up to the sky and take your block. We call this waterfall. You can read a Quran. You sit on your block to whatever degree is working for you. Is that too high? I like it on the flatter. Just gonna let the lactic acid drain and lymphatic drainage. Drainage. It's not a very nice word, so I don't really like to say it. But we'll just go with what the Queen says. Let it be. Shaking.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be.
Close your eyes.
And in my hour of darkness, she's standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. And with broken hearted
Then
people
you prepare for Shavasana.
living in the world of
And
dreams,
maybe keep your legs up against the wall or on that block. And you give yourself the time to enjoy a Shavasana, right? Even if you feel like there's somewhere you need to go. I can't recommend Shavasana enough. It's the three my most valuable rules that I have when I teach a yoga class, which is no cell phones, no chewing gum, and no leaving during Shavasana. And I have a fourth one when I teach younger men. We won't talk about that. There's certain things that let it flow don't always mean. So enjoy your Shavasana, and I'll see you next time when you come back and visit me at Yoga for Everyone with Juli. Namaste.